The 2022 Ryan Conference USA Football Kickoff Show rolls on, and we've got Louisiana Tech Bulldogs in the house. It is a new era. Sonny Cumbie now comes to Ruston, the new head coach. We'll also have a new quarterback behind center in Louisiana Tech, but they got Smoke Harris at the wide receiver. He can bring the heat. Last year, 3-9, but that is a very deceiving 3-9. I had a couple of the games for Louisiana Tech, especially that Mississippi State 1-point loss. This is a team that can ball. You guys were on the cusp of things. And a new head coach, Sonny Cumbie, joined by Joshua Moat and Kiwi Rose. Guys, thanks for joining me on the set.
Nice, sir.
Yeah, I appreciate you having us.
All right, Coach, new head coach here at Louisiana Tech. Why this job? What excites you the most?
Well, I think the success that this program has had, I think the Louisiana Tech, if you just think about the logo, the success that this program has had over the course of the last 10 to 15 years, really under the leadership starting back with Sonny Dykes, in terms of my era and me being able to really, and coaching, see that. And then Coach Skip Holtz, I mean, he did a great job here. He had 7 straight bowl games. They won 6 in a row. And his 9-year tenure here, did a great job. Have a ton of respect for him. And so I know, and competing against them in 2020 when I was at TCU, just how uncomfortable we were as coaches preparing for Louisiana Tech based off of the talent they have in Louisiana and East Texas, which basically makes up most of our roster, and then also just the way that they play football. These guys here on stage with me, the tenacity that they play with, and then really I think ultimately you're playing and you're coaching and you're in an area where people just love football. People love football. The players love football, and sometimes you don't always get that where guys love to practice, and they love being a part of a team. And so we have our challenges ahead of us, but I feel really good about where we're at right now. Louisiana Tech's a great school and a great location in Ruston, Louisiana, in terms of your recruiting area. And there's a ton of great things going on in our athletic program since we've got here. The men's basketball team, women's Lady Texters, both played in Conference USA championships. Our softball team won their division in softball. Our women's tennis, the longest winning streak in their program history, and then Lane Burrows in our baseball program. So we want to hold up our end of the bargain.
All right, let's dig into your story a little bit. You spent the past 12 years in the Big 12. You were recently the offensive coordinator at Texas Tech. How does that experience help you as the head coach? And are you still going to be calling the plays?
Well, I'll call the plays when they work, and then we'll look at it otherwise. No, I'll still do that. I have a great offensive staff. They've done a really good job over the course of the summer with breakdowns and even in spring, and then here in these last few weeks in terms of scripting and preparing for fall camp. Really excited about the challenge of Conference USA and being able to compete against some new opponents, some new coaches. We have a ton of great coaches and players that are in this league, and so there's a certain level of excitement, me personally, just because we're going to be competing against new coaches, new schemes. You're going to different parts of the country that you haven't been to, and this is a great league all around the board. You look at the season that UTSA had last year. You know, North Texas is always in the top of it, UAB, and so really excited. You know, Bailey Zappi, the year they had at Western Kentucky, and just to try to come into this league and to be a part of it. There's a lot of excitement from our staff and our players.
How would you describe your play calling style, and what kind of offense do you expect to run?
Well, you know, we want to be an explosive offense, and I think whether it's in the run game where we're explosive vertically in the run game and passing game, you know, you want to do a good job of evaluating your own roster and what can our guys do and what do our guys do really well, and let's just try to continue to maximize that. And I think we have a lot of talent at the skill level. You know, Smoke Harris, you talked about him earlier. Another Trey Harris, I think is poised for a great year. Our running back room is depth. We've got Griffin Abear, who's really gained some weight and embraced the tight end role for us, and then our offensive line. So has done a really good job. There's a ton of experience when you look at Josh Moe, when you look at Abe Delphin. They've played a lot of football, and so we want to be an explosive offense. We want to play complementary football with special teams and defense as well.
Smoke Harris is a guy, having called your games, he can change the game. And as a play caller, how do you draw up certain schemes in order to make him dominant?
Well, I think there's some things that you can draw up, and then there's just some things because he's great, he's talented. So hey, how can we not screw this up and just get him the ball and let him make everybody miss? And so you know, Smoke and Josh and Kiwi will tell you we've been working on Smoke's body. You know, we want to try to get him a little bit trimmer and a little bit more sleeker version of Smoke Harris for this season. But how many different ways can we get Smoke the ball and then just get out the way and let him make people miss?
Quarterback, new quarterback. Who's going to be your quarterback this year?
You know, we've got Matt Downing and Parker McNeil both transferred in the spring, and they've done a great job in spring and spring practice through the summer of running our off season. Landry Liddy's a young freshman from Calvary Baptist that we signed, and they've done a really nice job of really developing him. But I think those two guys, you know, between Matt Downing and Parker McNeil, both of those guys have a ton of reps banked up in this offense, and they've been at places where they've just played behind really good quarterbacks and are both looking to get their shot.
Let's talk about some of the guys you brought with you, because Josh Mote is the active leader in career starts for Louisiana Tech. How are you going to lead on him as one of the senior guys?
Well, I think that guys like Josh Mote and the experience that he's had winning football games at Louisiana Tech, I think when you think about Louisiana Tech football, you think about guys like Josh Mote that maybe they had opportunities to go here or there, but his family, it's a legacy. He loves this place. He loves North Louisiana, and so from that standpoint, you try to ask a lot of questions, and you try to lean on experience, especially early on in the season with the tough non-conference schedule that we have. You want to lean on guys that have experience and have been through a lot of battles and pick their brains on things that have worked in the past and how they worked and if they didn't, why they didn't, and just a really good teammate. And from a coaching staff standpoint, is a comfort level. Because you have a guy that's played a lot of football, but also I would think from a teammate level in the locker room, you know, a guy that younger players, older players can go to and ask for advice and leadership and guidance and doing things the right way.
I'm sure Cumbie Rose is like, what's up with the defense? We're talking all offense today. Where's the love for the defense? Coach, break down your defensive unit as we talk about Cumbie Rose and what they bring to the table.
Well, I tell you what, I love good defensive football. You know, I coached at TCU for 7 years, and so I've been around some good defenses and been around some good defensive coaches, and I think Scott Power and his staff have a lot of those same similarities in terms of they love football. They're very, very well prepared, attention to detail. I think he has a great plan on how he teaches our defense. I think Cumbie Rose and Rasheed Lyles will anchor our defensive line up front, and I think that really has the opportunity to be the strength of our defense. You've got a guy like Deshaun Hall, Michael Clark coming off the edge, guys that have played a lot of football. You've got Tyler Grubbs at linebacker. You know, we were able to add some players through the transfer portal defensively. A guy like Hugh Davis was with us through the spring, and then you look at our safeties, B.J. Williamson and Jaden Cole. I mean, guys that have, again, played a lot of football, and these aren't guys that just play a lot of football. These are guys that are talented. These are guys that are good football players, and then at corner, you know, Cedric Woods was the returning starting corner when we got here, and we added a couple of guys through the portal there as well. That Miles Brooks and Willie Roberts, and there's some other guys that we've added, and so I feel good about where we're at on defense. Cumbie has done an outstanding job from this spring through the summer in terms of his development, and really I think the leadership role that he's taken in his own way. And you may want to try to get him a little bit out of his comfort zone up here, and you know, and get him laughing a little bit, and we'll see what we continue to his growth and development on stage too.
Yes.
All right, Cumbie, we are live in person here at Globe Life Field. First of all, to be on this set, what is this experience like for you in this ballpark? I mean, it is just us here today.
I don't know, man. It's just different. I've never been somewhere like this in my life. So me coming from Henderson, Texas, a small town in Texas, and East Texas, the best. It's just different. Just being here, it's a blessing, and I'm glad to be here.
Hey, did you catch that? He said East Texas.
The best.
The best?
The best.
Yeah.
I'm not a Texas guy, so
Hey.
I don't get into the Texas
Hey.
rivalry. But I know you guys are very serious about Texas and the barbecue,
Yes,
and
we
you
are.
guys get after it. Okay. You're on the Conference USA preseason watch list. What does that mean for you?
I mean, I feel like it's a start. I feel like the last couple of years I've been playing. I mean, I'm just starting to get a hang of it, but I feel like this year is gonna be good for me. With the defense we running, the team, and I feel like we're just gonna go out and ball out.
Having a new head coach, what have you seen so far from Sonny Cumbie? What's the new culture so far here at Louisiana Tech?
Play ball and have fun. Coach Cumbie brings all the juice during practice, stuff that we like. I like, you know, because I got to get out of my comfort zone sometimes, and I feel like he brings that juice. And with that, I feel like we can do good with what we got ahead of us this year.
You guys had so many tough losses, like 4 losses by 4 points or less. Does that leave a bad taste in your mouth? How did you work through that this offseason?
I mean, that's all we thought about. Losing by that much, not that much. I feel like we got a little chip on our shoulder. We're gonna turn some heads this year.
All right, let's talk offense. Josh Mote in the house. I mean, I saw you taking a little social media. What's this setup like for you here?
Yeah, I mean, this stadium is so nice. I've been to a couple baseball games out here, and they've done a real good job as far as, you know, transferring from that stadium over there to this brand new facility. It's beautiful here.
It's not often that the teams bring an offensive lineman to represent them on offense.
I know.
What does that mean to you?
I mean, I'm just glad that Coach Cumbie gave me the opportunity to be here, and especially Kiwi too, D-line and O-line, the big boys. And I mean, coaches always say it starts up front, and so I mean he's living it out by bringing us here and letting us represent our university and our teammates.
So you're the active career leader in starts with 26, the most senior guy on this team. How do you lead? Is it by example? Do you talk? What's your leadership style?
I mean, I'm more of a lead by example guy, but I mean, I think there's definitely times where you need to talk and you need to encourage your teammates and motivate them and help them through difficult times, whatever it is. If they're struggling in practice, if they're struggling in the locker room, just be there for them, motivate them. Sometimes it's hard for them, but they get it at the end of the day. So.
Kiwi talked about you guys having that chip on your shoulder. You had so many tough losses. You were so close to getting over that hump this season.
Yeah.
How did that help you this summer? What did you do special? How did you prepare for the season?
Yeah, I mean, after last season, it was just, like you said, a bad taste, and it was very easy to be motivated coming into the weight room and running on the field and getting in the playbook. And but I think it was a good thing for us as far as the guys that are still here, because we learned a lot. A lot of guys matured. And they learned how to take losses, close losses, and now we know this season that we don't want that bad taste in our mouth ever again. So I think it's good for a lot of my teammates, especially me. Nice.
All right, Coach, ready to talk schedule?
Yeah.
All right, let's pop it up on the screen. Let's walk us through your schedule. Tell me what you're thinking as you approach each game this season.
Our first game at Missouri on a Thursday night, I think it's really exciting. A chance for our program to go on the road against an SEC team being played on TV and everybody being able to watch. Then we play Stephen F. Austin back at home that next Saturday. A very good team led by Kobe Carthel. We played them last year at Texas Tech in the second week of the season, and it was a barn burner. And then we go to Clemson, our third game, a night game there. And so looking forward to that for our program and our players. South Alabama, we played there. A Sun Belt, really good opponent there in the Sun Belt that we're playing the fourth week of the season. We have a bye week after that, and so really excited. October the 8th, getting back home and playing UTEP, because we haven't played a home football game in about a month, just based off of our road game and our bye week. And so then we get into our Conference USA schedule, and there's a lot of really good opponents there, and North Texas coming here, and then Rice at home, and we have a Friday night game at FIU, with Coach McIntyre and those guys just here on stage. We play Middle Tennessee at home, at UTSA, at Charlotte, and versus UAB back at home, rounding it out. So it's a tough schedule, and I don't think you really want it any other way. I think our players are a group of guys that are very eager. Our guys are a group of players up to this point who have done a great job of allowing us to build trust with them. They have been very coachable. They're very appreciative and a tough, hardworking group. And so I think they're looking forward to the challenge of all 12 of those, and hopefully we can earn a few more.
The new head coach at Louisiana Tech, Sonny Cumbie, good luck in your first season.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
All right, guys, thanks so much for joining us. We had some fun.